Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for an all the episode recap of today's Days of Our Lives, October 27, 2025. I am happy to be back. I just had my son almost 2 weeks ago. I'm saying like time is flying, but I definitely was keeping up with Days of Our Lives. I'm glad to be finally doing a review. So if you hear him in the background, just know that he's my special assistant. He's just chiming in as well on the review. So let's get into this, right? Because honestly, some of these scenes were really pissing me the hell off. But let's get into the first scene with Kat and Brady. So they're just checking in with each other, right? And Brady is just checking in with Kat, and she's wearing this Halloween accessory that her sister made. He also was asking about the DNA test results for Aaron, if it has come in yet, which we are dying to know, because word on the street is that it's his child, but they need confirmation. So Kat said that they are supposed to get it anytime soon, and hopefully it provides closure either way, so he knows whether or not he's the father or not, right? So she asked about Aaron and Tate. Aaron would definitely tell Tate what's going on. She asks how is he doing, and Brady's also saying that he's doing all right and that he's here for Rachel's appointment, right? He also called Tate and said that he needed, was wondering if they could do a Halloween family thing and dress up in costumes together. So he also apologized because she asked about Marlena, and Brady was saying that she's okay and he's sorry that she had to take this extended leave of absence and that she had to be working for EJ instead of that job, and she said she understands how it goes. It's been going well. So anyways, he wishes her well with that, and that was really it with them. Wait, hold up. He also did apologize on behalf of Rachel and her actions, and he said, regardless if she's a kid or not, she should have known her place and not speak on her and Chad's relationship and it being imploded. And he feels bad about that. And she said, she's a child. It is what it is, right? We should have known better, right? So this scene with Sarah and Philip really grinds my gears because honestly, where does she get off telling Philip what to do and to turn Xander in and let him face jail time? Point blank, he is actually saying that he's not going to go against his brother. He dropped it. He forgave him. And he also tested him when he was choking or fake choking, and he saved his life. And at this point, like, he's loyal to his brother. He's not going to do it. It's his fault why they're in this mess and all this happening. Again, Sarah saying that, he needed to take accountability. She didn't know that she was married to this monster, yada, yada, yada. Same old for years now. She's saying the same thing. Girl, if you don't just shut your mouth and just stop saying we're over for good, because every time you take him back and you know the type of person he is and you keep on taking him back. So at this point, I don't want to hear it, right? So anyways, she's upset with Philip for not being honest, and I'm saying this is so hypocritical because she wasn't honest with Xander. Had she been honest with him from the beginning, they wouldn't be in this mess. And I'm not excusing what Xander did to Philip, assaulting him, but he has atoned for it. He's been going to therapy. He's been trying to do better, right? But again, he's irredeemable. Everybody is redeemable except for Xander, right? And Sarah was malicious with her intent. I don't care how she want to spin it about how, she was protecting him and she knew he was going to react certain ways, so that's why she lied. I don't want to hear it, right? Honestly, I wish that Xander would move on, find somebody that will accept him. Honestly, Gwen actually accepted him, and I thought they were good for each other. But even Gwen or somebody else, because Sarah just won't accept the type of guy he is, and she tried to make and mold him into something that she wants. Go find Rex or go find a goody two shoes. You know you like the bad boys, and you can't handle them. So just stay in your lane. So, anyways, you know. Gwen and EJ are talking, and EJ said we have a big problem and you need to go make nice with Leo, rekindle you guys' friendship. And she said, why should I? Because I really truly hate him for what he did, sneaking around with my husband, and she can't forgive him. He makes her skin crawl, yada yada yada. So he's saying, you have to go do it because he is on his way for finding out what we might be, up to something, something good, not something good. And he is saying that she has to do what she has to do. And she's saying she really can't fake it. But he said, look, you know how to lie, you know how to manipulate. So you might have to do it because everything is at stake and we invested a lot. We don't want to lose everything. It goes down the drain. So anyway, she said, I am good at deceiving people and, playing fake nice and all that. So I've had practice. So yeah, I'll do it right. Leo and Chad are talking, and Leo talks about his whole running at the institution where EJ is doing the free clinic. So he tells him that he got caught by this peculiar lady. It turns out to be Rita. So now he's scared about going back there and finding out what's going on with EJ. So Chad said that he would handle it and talk to EJ about what's really going on. He feels as if EJ is doing good, doing his free clinic, but Leo is hesitant because he does have this reputation to be a gangster and everything, right? So anyways, they start talking about Tesaro and how he's bonding with him and how he also is happy that they have this time with him because he's soon be up for adoption. And he is just, it's bittersweet for him. And he was showing him pictures of his Halloween costume. They talk about Thomas as well, and Chad is telling him about how he found out about him and Kat, and that the relationship is over now. Thomas is still angry with him, and Chad said, "Look, Leo said, look, you're a good father. He will definitely get over it, and he will forgive you, right?" So they talk about Halloween plans as well and what they want to dress up as. And, that was really it with them. So another scene that really pissed me off was Maggie and Xander, right? So Xander comes in thinking it's a regular day at the office. And Maggie's in the chair. Maggie said that, look, I'm taking over and you have to be a figurehead because, you've done a lot of damage and you harm my daughter in the way, and I don't want you getting in the way of her and Victoria and all of that. So is that you take this figurehead position, don't do nothing around the company, just, play the image and everything, and I will handle everything behind that, right? So she said, it's either that or you go to jail, right? Because I'm going to make sure that you go to jail for what you did, right? So Xander said, hell no, like he's not going to go to jail. He's not going to be no figurehead. So it's either you got to work around it and, this whole company goes to smoke, whatever is left of Victor's company. And, maybe it's better that way. So Maggie said, I'll do everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen. But you're not good for business. And I'm saying that she's making her personal feelings and whatever happened to Sarah and him get in the way of Xander as a co-CEO, his big business acumen. That should never be, right? You can learn to work with somebody and not really be into them. So I'm just saying, her and Sarah get on my nerves. And the fact that Sarah, and I touched on this earlier, Sarah wants to take his child away from him because of what happened between them personally. Like, that shouldn't stop him from being a great father. He is a good father towards Victoria. And furthermore, like, you're using personal feelings to do anything to make sure he goes to jail. So you really didn't love him. You're definitely right. You didn't really love him because regardless of how you feel about him personally as a husband, like, don't take his child away from him, right? And I really hope that Xander gets back to that place where he was months earlier, where he was fighting for custody of this child, and he goes for it, right? At some point, he does go outside the office to handle a meeting and everything, and he gets served from this lady, from Sarah, because she already served him business divorce papers, right? So speaking of her, because I honestly can't stand her, she's at the work and she's finding it hard to focus. She's talking about Rachel to Brady and how his appointment going. So he can tell that something's wrong with her, and she was saying, oh, he's such a great dad. And I'm saying, really, Sarah, you're going to make your personal feelings get in the way of really giving Xander his props for being a good father? Because I don't see him being an ill deadbeat father, honestly, right? He has his flaws, but no. And maybe because I'm biased, I'm a Xander fan. Honestly, I was happy when he won the Emmy for, I guess, lead role or something like that. I know I'm sidetracking, but I am so happy, and congratulations to Paul Telfer on a great performance of his role. But anyways, back to these two, because we know they're gonna get together at some point. I really don't care what she or who she be with, because honestly, she's insufferable. she tells him what's going on with Xander and the relationship and it not working out, and she's divorcing him because of what he did to Philip. And he's saying how Philip is reacting to it, and she said that he's standing by Xander. He's not going to testify legally. They can't find Xander accountable for it, so he gets away with it. And she just can't believe she's married to a monster, yada yada yada. And she blamed herself for all this, and she blames Philip for letting her blame herself, whatever. So Philip is saying, Brady's saying that you deserve a lot better, and sorry to hear that. So he said, can't you find somebody to cover the shift? He said we're already short staffed thanks to EJ, but he convinces her to go somewhere after they drop off Rachel. And just to let us steam and whatever is going on. Again, I really don't care. Back to the Kiriakis office, our Titan office. Philip comes in because Maggie also told Xander that he could be the figure and she works alongside Philip. And he's like, you and Philip are in cahoots. So Philip comes in and she's like, how come you didn't tell me that you're working with Maggie and all that? So it's all news to Philip. And Philip said, I don't know nothing about that, but it can't work. Xander needs to stay on as co-CEO. I'm standing by him, and you guys can go to the police station and say what you're saying, but I'm not going to give him up, right? He deserves to be here just as everybody else. And if it doesn't work out, all of our lives are going to be affected or impacted. And that's what he was telling Sarah, that if she goes to the police station and tries something, the company will go down and it will affect Victoria's legacy, right? So that's what he was saying also to Maggie, and he convinces her because she was the one who wanted them to work together to, rebuild the company and everything like that, right? So she eventually gives in, and she said, I don't have to like you and I don't have to work alongside you, so I need my own office, and he can stay on, right? Because that was what Victor would have wanted them to work together. So Philip agrees with her demands, and that's when Xander walked out. And Maggie said to Philip, like, you are making a big mistake. And he said, I do believe that he has lost everything. Let him stay on a Titan, right? Again, her and Sarah, very insufferable this episode. Oh my gosh. So Gwen, taking EJ's suggestion, she comes over to the Spectator and she's talking to Leo, calling him by his pet name, Matty. And she's saying that, she wanted to thank him properly for him rescuing her from the facility during the blackout. And she feels bad because all she did was hug him. She was traumatized with the whole thing. And she's thankful for him rescuing her. And she wanted to thank him properly. She invites him to lunch or dinner. So he's hesitant because, he still don't know if he should trust her or not. And given that they had a straight relationship, he doesn't know. So she wants to rekindle their friendship, but again, under false pretenses, because we know that's not what she wants. So she sees Chad and tells him hello, and she heard about Jennifer being in town, and she said to give her respects. So Chad already know that's insincere. She said yes, and she said, hopefully she doesn't run nobody over, because honestly, that's not what we want during Halloween and all that. So anyways, Chad said it's always nice to see you sarcastically. So she said you as well. So she leaves. So Chad doesn't like Gwen as much or trust her, but he knows how Leo feels about their friendship and rekindling it. And he said maybe she's trying an opportunity to do that. Take her up on the offer to actually go out to lunch or dinner with her. So Kat is at the office with EJ, and he sees her in the cat ears, and he makes a joke about her being like an actual cat and all that. So she talks about Felicity and Mark and how they're getting in the Halloween spirit, and he's happy that Mark is home, and you can tell that they're actually happy to have him. And she thanks him again for giving him the job offer and said he knows how it is and giving second chances. And he said Chad doesn't hold a grudge, so why should I? So anyways, they're sharing something about common interest over a certain book or romance novel. So EJ said that's the only romance he's getting these days. And, Kat also empathizes as well. And, they talk about sharing the book and having a two-person book club. So I can tell there's a lot more chemistry with this Demira over Chad. I honestly wouldn't mind if they end up together. So anyways, I think there was I don't know what else was happening between them, but he did get a call from Anna, and Anna's frantic because she cannot find Tony. Tony's missing. So he tells Kat as well what's going on. So I don't know where is this coming from left field, but that was really it for today's episode. I should say, touching on the last 2 weeks, it has been great episodes between Sophia and Holly and the whole teen pack, and as well as what was going on with Xander and Sarah. Again, as much as they despise Sarah and everything, I love the scenes between them. They did a great job conveying all that emotion. So yeah. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. Comment below your thoughts on today's episode. I will see you guys tomorrow.